From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Beres here on a Monday. Hope you had a very pleasant weekend, and I'm glad you're starting your week with us here on the big show. We're going to take your phone calls today. We're going to open up the phone lines to talk with two distinguished gentlemen joining us this morning from the state to talk about a variety of issues. We'll get into some of those. I'm not going to try to muddle through it right off the top. I'll let them explain it to you, but we'll take phone calls. These are folks you might want to join in the conversation with this morning, as we'll get the phone number there in a moment. But joining us this morning, the Secretary of the great state of Tennessee, Tre Hargett. Good morning to you, sir.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again. Phillips is with you as well, Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development Commissioner. Nice to have you on, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you both. And I know we've got several issues and things to talk about this morning, but I want to give folks, again, I like to do this for both of you. Tre, if you would, explain to folks. Everyone has heard, okay, Secretary of State, we know it at the federal level. States have that as well. Your role, explain what the office does.
Absolutely. We have roughly 300 actual employees in the Department of State. We handle a myriad of things, whether it's elections, which is a very timely issue right now. Also, we work with libraries around the state, rural and suburban libraries, provide training, technological support, and materials to them. Another function we're talking about this morning is our Division of Business Services, which help provide a great way for businesses to be able to prove that they are who they say they are. It helps our system of commerce in the state of Tennessee with its annual reporting. Helps the banking industry through the Uniform Commercial Code, apostilles, trademarks, summons, etc. And so we have a myriad of things we do in that regard, as well as charitable solicitation gaming. You know, we make sure that nonprofit organizations are operating in a way they should be. It's something we've talked about at holiday times, several times, talking about how we make sure that organizations are who they say they are, and that you can be an educated consumer with your charitable dollars. And on top of that, we serve on about 15 different boards and commissions that touch all parts of state government. So we have a lot of different places we reach into to try and help best serve Tennesseans.
Good overview on that. And it's good. You touched on one point there, Tre, about why Burns is here with us this morning. And in terms of making sure things are what they are and what you're paying for in businesses and the expenses, let's get to this one issue that we wanted to talk about this morning. I called it a poster scam, Secretary. You said, no, we're not going to call it a scam. But what is it we see happening right now with, what is it, companies sending through email, regular mail, and calls what appears to be officials requiring employers to purchase posters? Now, I don't know how many people that affects in our viewing audience, but what is this all about? Who wants to start with that?
I'll be glad to start. You know,
sure.
Tennesseans, or Tennessee businesses form through our department. Whether you're a corporation, a limited liability corporation, a limited liability partnership, you come through our department to form. We know who your president is, your secretary is. And,
it can be big, small businesses.
It can be
however you
big
get
or
started.
small. You know, not a sole proprietorship, but those other businesses I just mentioned. And we get your contact information, who your registered agent is. And then every year we send you a mail out reminding you to file your annual report. And what's happening right now is around the time of the annual report filings is there are a couple of companies out there, one I think called Annual Business Services, another called Corporate Record Services. They'll typically go find somewhere that has like a mailbox, et cetera, a UPS store or whatever, and they'll get a mailbox. And we'll mail you something every year that looks like this, has the seal on it, and also has the state seal at the top. This is what we send to you as far as saying your annual report is due.
Right.
These other companies will send you something that looks very similar. It's telling you your annual minutes form is due. And so it gets people thinking, okay, well, this is what I need to send back to the state. Well, when you send these forms back in, they charge you $125 for these. It doesn't bring you into compliance with the state at all. They'll send you a nice little binder that really isn't required. And you actually, when you file your annual report with us, it costs you $20, not $125. And so they're pocketing the $125, and you still haven't filed what you need to with the state. One of the struggles we have is people get the letters, they look at it, looks very official, and they send these people $125. And we're fortunate that a lot of people are calling us, emailing us, or writing us and saying, I've gotten this mail out today. What do I do with it? And many people have told me, and they're knowledgeable business people, said, well, I just thought it was what I needed to do. They mailed the check in. And if you get anything from us, it's important to know the state seal is going to be on it somewhere.
Now, could someone use a state seal without permission? And you know that happens.
Yeah, it does happen. And you know, the best thing you can do is if there's any doubt in your mind, contact our office.
Right.
Our office number is 741-2286. Once again, 741-2286.
We'll get that out later in the show, too.
Okay. And call us, email us, and let us know, you know, that you have a question, because that's what's happened. That's what alerted us to this this situation to start with. Was somebody looked at it and says, this just doesn't look right to me. So anytime you get that annual report reminder, it's going to be on our official letterhead. It's going to have that seal on it.
All right, Commissioner. Part of it is, all right, and I guess by the way, it's not necessarily illegal what they're doing. They're offering something else, and it could be maybe misinterpreted one way or the other as being from the state, but they're kind of doing, you see this in a lot of different types of realms.
Well, I'm going to be real careful what I say about it being illegal or not.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it.
You do get something in return.
Right.
The letter you get certainly implies that you need this to be in compliance with state government, and it's not true.
All right, what about posters?
The very posters that they're asking for in these letters are all available on our website. Can be downloaded at no charge.
For free.
For free. And there are a number of posters, but there are 4 required by the state of Tennessee, which is a TOSHA safety and health poster, unemployment insurance poster, child labor poster, and workers' compensation. Those are required, but they're all available. If an employer goes to the website, he can download those at no charge.
Okay.
So there's really no reason that an employer would ever have to pay for one. If they could certainly buy it if they wanted to, but they're free at the website.
Big picture, and you know, we just hit on this subject here, but big picture, why is this important? I mean, I suspect, you know, some of our viewers are like, okay, that's not good when this happens to some of these businesses. They need to be able to go straight to the state and not spend that money. Why is this something that is an issue the average Tennessean should be concerned with?
Well, number one, anytime somebody's trying to separate you for your money for something that you didn't get, that's an issue.
You feel bad that that's happening to these businesses, but how does it affect us all?
Let's take, for example, let's take a small business, small LLC, who has formed with us and then gets this mail out, mails $125 in, they think they're done for the year. Then 60 days later, after they haven't filed what they need to with us, they get something from us saying that, you know, you've been administratively dissolved. And so you're not an active standing in the state of Tennessee. That LLC has no idea that's occurred until they get that. And they may not even know until they've gone to the bank to get a loan. They've tried to enter into a contract with another business somewhere who's asked to be able to sit there in good standing. And lo and behold, they're not in good standing anymore, and they're having to go back through the process to try and get back in good standing. So it could cause them a problem if they're trying to enter into a contract with somebody, trying to get a business loan of some sort.
And with that, if that does that, that puts them behind the 8 ball, could cost jobs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, do you agree? That's
right, because any cost to a business, large or small, is ultimately passed along to either the service or the goods to the citizens. So yes, exactly.
All right, listen, we're going to take a break on that note. We've got that base covered. We can talk more on that if someone wants to call in along those lines. But I think when we come back, let's talk about elections. Can we do that?
Yeah. Can we talk about one more business issue?
Yeah, we'll do that when we come back as well as, and then I also want to talk about what else is happening economically in the state, jobs and where that's at. Look, we got you two here. I'm not just going to stay on one subject.
No, that's
How often do I get the both of you here? We'll take a break. We'll be back. We'll open up the phone lines. You're welcome to join in the conversation as soon as we come back with our guests right after this. Stay with us. Yeah, what?